Brother Talut El-Amin again in the studio with us. A brother who helps us make things clear, make some interesting statements, and some of our audience, they want to hear more from him. They are seeking a little bit more clarity on subjects like the imaginary white man, subjects like brothers don't want to be hit. Yes, sir. So the brother is here today to help us with clarity. Say hello to the audience, Brother Talut El-Amin.
Good morning to everyone who's listening, and also good morning to you, Brother Wallace.
Thank you.
Yes.
Let's say a few things about. See if I can set it up. Zimmerman, George Zimmerman, as his uncle called him, Georgie Zimmerman. And you said that he walked away from murder, and I think most of us agree with that. He's flying up and down the highway there, speeding and getting tickets and getting a warning. But now, many people may not know that he's been warned not to pursue a career in law enforcement. And that, yes, and that tells us a lot. And in fact, in that scuffle they had, the altercation rather, he and Trayvon Martin, I'm going to go out and say that Trayvon got the best of him. And when he got the best of him, Talut, you said that Trayvon was standing up and not lying down. And moving back when he saw the gun, the wind pushed his shirt out. But anyway, Zimmerman shot and killed the young man. And not long ago, he posed as a good Samaritan, helping some people out on the highway there. And, you know, it was a phony deal if you ask me. They were supposed to have a press conference, and the people called it off. And to me, that speaks volumes. How do you see? In fact, Sister Sabrina Fulton was on CNN this morning. But give us your take on where we are today, looking back in retrospect on Trayvon, and say a few words about Zimmerman, and then say a few words about Trayvon, if you will.
Well, actually, what we witnessed as far as the trial, I'm sure most of us know, are very familiar with what had happened as a result of George Zimmerman intercepting Trayvon Martin. But what we have to understand is that we've also witnessed a true miscarriage of justice. And what we witnessed, as far as the jury is concerned, is an ignorant jury. A jury that didn't understand their authority and capacity as juries. And of course, we all know, those who've sat on the jury before, we all know that in a jury room, you are above the law. You make a decision based on what you have heard and based on what your heart says. It has nothing to do with instructions and the law and all these types of things, because, as you know, for those who sit on juries, you can listen to the law over and over again, but if the prosecution did not prove his case or the defense did not prove their case, that person walks or that person goes to prison. As far as our opportunity today, as a result of what has happened in that trial, and also to young man Trayvon, we have now galvanized, and we have actually put together an opportunity for us to move out on various issues that affect all of us, and skin color has nothing to do with it. We have a corrupt penal institution system, a penal system, pardon me. Mm-hmm. We have corruption in our police departments. We have stop and frisk. We have an array of issues that we are all now focusing in on, and that's going to help America. It's not just going to help black people, it's going to help America. So we need to seize this opportunity and organize and forge ahead, you know, and this is our 21st century moment.
Okay.
We have to do it.
Sounds like what I hear you saying is that in terms of race, that both ethnic groups have been misled, brainwashed, and so therefore we all need a new sense of direction and a new shift in paradigm. Is that what the audience can ascertain from your statement?
Absolutely, absolutely. And when I say we, I'm talking about good people, regardless of their skin color or their race or nationality. We have an opportunity today to correct an array of wrongs that have been done in America as it applies to everybody, okay, and anybody. Okay? We have a constitution that governs over our nation, okay, and we have amendments to that constitution. We are the people of the nation, and we are to enjoy the full scope of the Constitution without any limitations whatsoever. And until we get there and are able to do that, we have to fight. We have to fight for these rights that are expressed in the Constitution of our nation. And we cannot sit and do nothing. We have to organize and we have to forge ahead because the Constitution have enemies.
Okay. You know what I find interesting in terms of watching that trial? It was interesting and almost comical the way certain people took the stand, and they all, in terms of what they heard, the yelling and the screaming, they all seemed to have a silent agreement to tell a lie. And
yes.
that was Zimmerman. And his uncle said it was no doubt that it was May Georgie, right, who was screaming. But it appears to me like your research shows that Trayvon was standing up. So logic tells me that he had gotten the best of Zimmerman, and Zimmerman pulled the gun because he lost the altercation. And so Trayvon was yelling and screaming, you see, because he sees the gun, and here comes a bullet. And this is what I got out of looking at the trial. Because, like you said, you have to have critical thinking. Are you calling for critical thinking as opposed to just looking at what's on the screen and then saying, yeah, that's what happened?
Yeah. Well,
go ahead.
Well, the bottom line to it all is that we all know that Zimmerman should not have accosted or approached Trayvon Martin in the first place, okay? And he should not have intercepted him as he left the store and were going home. There was no reason at all. A crime had not been committed, okay? Nothing was going on, but it was just raining. Yeah. And he should have left the young man alone. Right. And we all know that. Right, and not only that, who is Zimmerman? Right. In the first place, right. Zimmerman, stay in your vehicle. Right. Here we have a civilian profiling a young African American who had not long ago turned 17 years old. And the profiling never stopped. Right. See, the profiling started from Zimmerman's eyes, and the profiling kept moving all the way through the process. Right. And it hasn't stopped yet. And so that's why we all should be organizing to stop or to cease and desist in the racial profiling of stop and frisk. Because what the attorneys did, his attorneys did, they projected Zimmerman as a law professional and having a right to stop a suspect of whom Zimmerman did profile. Like any law enforcement officer would have a right to stop and ask a man or a boy a question. But they don't. They really don't. But we have become accustomed to it because it's been going on for a number of years. Okay? But no one has a right to stop another person in their process of doing their business, whatever it is, and ask them any questions whatsoever. Okay? So yes, it was, and it is in fact, the principle that's behind racial profiling and stop and frisk that got Trayvon Martin killed and got Zimmerman exonerated.
Okay. One more question, then I want us to shift gears. Going forward, are you going to continue to be blogging, posting on Facebook, this discussion, and are you inviting others to join you going forward in terms of enhancing this discussion and looking at it critically in terms of the overall situation?
Yes. In fact, my Facebook page is facebook.com/Talut. Okay. My Twitter is @Talut. That's TALUT.
Okay.
Okay. And then from there, I would introduce you to my blog, and my blog is Memphis Y Blog. Okay. So I blog on a website, WordPress website, and I also do Facebook and Twitter.
Okay, well, we will be tuning in. Now, shifting gears and going forward as we shift, you have characterized Memphis as the, it is somewhat comical, but looking at it and breaking it down to a great extent, many of us, including myself, are going to have to agree. You've characterized Memphis as the you can't do that city.
Right. You can't.
The you can't reminds me of Obama and the Republicans. If he said, pass this jobs bill, let's build roads, highways, skyscrapers, the Republicans say, no. Obama said, you're just a say no party. So
right.
You're saying that Memphis is the you can't city. Yeah. When you go before city council, wherever you go, county commission, they tell you, you can't do that.
You can't. You can't.
Expound.
Well, the thing is, if you're black and living in Memphis, you have heard you can't all of your life. Okay? You can't do this, you can't do that. If a man decides that he wants to take care of his family by selling pistols on the corner, as long as he's selling a few pencils, it's okay. But the moment he really starts selling pencils, somebody is going to approach him and say, you can't do that.
So
if you go,
it's fine if he or she is struggling, selling 1 or 2 pencils per day,
right.
15 or 20 cents per day.
Right.
But now, don't begin to look like you're doing something substantial. You start making 200 or 300 a day,
right.
1,000 a day.
Right.
So comes to you and tells you, hey man, look, you can't do that.
You can't do that. You know, and it's
that's terrible.
Yeah, it runs seamlessly throughout the whole culture.
Okay.
Okay.
You're referring to the culture of Memphis. Okay.
Yeah. You find that it's so many things that you can't do until the black population have given up. Okay, a whole generation have just said, "Look, I already know I can't do it," so and that's part of that. That's part of that imaginary white man thing too.
Okay.
We can tie that in because when a generation have heard you can't so long, and they give up, and then when they come to point